nagpa-premiere. let us bow our heads and put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today. We thank you for the gift of life and strength that you have provided us all to be part of this endeavor. We seek your forgiveness for our wrongdoings, as we have forgiven those who have done us wrong. May you bestow your guidance and blessings so that we can enjoy and appreciate its significance in our lives. Bless everyone who is present here today. May each one of us be able to share our knowledge, understanding, and wisdom for your glory and honor. May the various activities related to this event be a success through your intervention. All these we ask through your name. Amen.
Ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, telas ng sigatanan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatang putok sa simoy at sa langit mo pagkaw, ay hinatang tulad awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtinig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magtitigil. Luman ang araw ng walhabing pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng pagkay mag-aamig, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ems of PSTO Tarlac, and we welcome you all to the 34th session of Tech Tips titled The TRL Roadmap Understanding Technology Readiness Levels. Ayan, so aside here in Zoom, you may also join us live sa aming Facebook page at DOST Central Luzon and through the Provincial SNT Offices Facebook pages. Also, after this webinar, abangan din po natin yung ating attendance and evaluation link for you to get your e-certificates. And those e-certificates will be sent to you within 2 weeks. And so abangan po natin yung mga link mamaya. Moreover, we would like to thank, of course, the Tarlac State University for the Zoom platform na pinapahiram sa atin, DOST 3 TCT unit, the Science Communication team for always supporting our activities here in Tech Tips, and to DOST Nueva Ecija for covering us via Facebook Live. And syempre, to make our webinar more inclusive, joining us again today, Ma'am Daylin Pedro, our sign language interpreter. Okay, so to formally open our webinar, we will now hear a message from the ever-supportive, innovative, and very dynamic na unit head of the Technical Consultancy and Training Unit of DOST Region 3, no other than, let's give a round of applause to Mr. Randolph and Valencia. Hello, Sir Rands.
Hello, thank you so much, paring Ems. Okay. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. On behalf of the Department of Science and Technology, Region 3, we are very happy to welcome all of you, our researchers, scientists, innovators, students, and technology enthusiasts to another exciting episode of our Tech Tips series. Today's session, Tech Tips number 34, the TRL roadmap, is a very timely and important discussion, especially for those of us working on research, development, and technology-based projects. As we continue to strengthen the innovation ecosystem here in Central Luzon, it is crucial that we understand how ready or mature our technologies are before they can be transferred, commercialized, or used in the real world. And that's exactly what the technology readiness level or TRL help us determine. Through this session, we aim to guide you in understanding the TRL framework, its key concepts, definitions, and most importantly, how it can be applied in assessing the progress of your projects. This will help us all ensure that our R&D outputs can truly create impact and value for our communities. We are also honored to have us with us today our expert resource person from DOST Pisherd, isa po siyang kapamilya, who will share valuable insights and real-world experiences on how to navigate the TRL roadmap more effectively. So whether you are a researcher preparing for technology transfer, a startup developing a prototype, or a student curious about innovation pathways, this session is definitely for you. Let us all make the most of this learning opportunity, ask questions, engage, and be inspired to move your technologies to the next level of readiness. Once again, thank you for being here and welcome to Tech Tips 034, the TRL Roadmap, Understanding Technology Readiness Levels. Maraming salamat po and muli magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Yeah, and thank you very much, Sir Rance, for delivering that engaging message. Ayan, and here in DOST, we are really hoping na with this webinar, we can really acquire the fundamental understanding of the TRL framework for us to assess and evaluate, syempre, yung mga maturity ng mga technologies. Okay, so bago naman tayo mag-proceed dun sa ating discussion proper, may I request everyone to please open their cameras para at least meron tayong photo opportunity. Okay. Habang fresh pa ang lahat, habang nilalabanan pa ang oras de peligro, can we open our cameras po? Okay, si Sir Richard or si Ma'am Diane mag-take na lang ng photo. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, next page po tayo. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, next page. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, so yun po. Maraming salamat po sa mga nag-open ng kanilang mga camera. Okay, so we shall now proceed with our webinar proper. So please let me introduce to you our resource speaker. Our resource speaker is from DOST Philippine Council for Industry, Energy and Emerging Technology Research and Development, or DOST Pisherd. He is a graduate of Bachelor of Science, major in Chemistry, and major in Materials Science and Engineering at Ateneo de Manila University, a registered chemist and chemical technician, as well as a certified materials engineer. Currently, he is the Technology Transfer Officer and Program Manager under the Research Information and Technology Transfer Division of DOST Pisherd. Let us all welcome Engineer Neil Christian R.A.S. Hello, Sir Neil. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon po. Maraming salamat po sa extension na invitation. So, magandang hapon po sa lahat. Thank you all po for coming to this session. I've been asked to explain or to discuss what are technology readiness levels and how we can apply it in our own researches. So, I guess I'll be sharing po yung screen, no? Tama, Sir Ems?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Saglit lang po. Ayan. Is my screen seen naman po?
Yes po.
Okay. So, well, again, thank you so much, Bud, for extending invitation to the DOST Pisherd. We're very much also grateful that a lot of our partners in the regions are now very much aggressive in letting our stakeholders know why technology transfer is very important. And of course, by doing so, we must know also what are the different technology readiness levels for us to prepare ahead of time when we conduct our own research projects. So again po, thank you po for the kind introduction. Again, I am Engineer Neil Christian Reyes. I am a Technology Transfer Officer and Program Manager of the Research Information and Technology Transfer Division of the Council. And again po, as mentioned, I'm a registered chemist and a materials engineer. So, kumbaga, there's the interest and passion in science is already there, and of course, and what interested me in becoming in this position is how we can transform or transfer these interesting research projects into more um, marketable and of course accessible technologies in our society. So I'm here po to share the same passion to the audience, and hopefully, there's a thing or two that each of our researchers here can get. So let me see. Okay. So I just wanted to ask kung kumusta po ang lahat. I mean, I guess by showing some reactions na lang po, no, sino po kaya dito ang may mga research projects na ongoing, yung mga nagpaplanong mag-research, or currently researchers po? Meron naman po siguro dito, no? I'm seeing different universities. Ayan, may mga nakita ko nag-react. And ang kaya po ako nung today kasi baka lang naman curious din tayo on how our projects would turn after what would our projects turn afterwards after the project duration kung matapos na natin yung results. Ano kayang sunod? Are we excited for the next phase or confused kaya tayo? But if we are confused or both excited or confused, it's it's both understandable. Kasi we really reach some level of uncertainty after the project. But now, as a technology transfer officer, we're here to extend or to let our stakeholders know why is it important to do technology transfer. And of course, the question now remains, why should we go through the entrepreneurial learning? Kasi sabi nga natin, I'm a researcher, I'm a scientist, I'm a chemist, I'm a biologist, etc. I'm just concerned with what's happening in the lab. Siguro mas concerned lang ako on how these molecules turn into something else. How how my research can just reach its intended um product or just intended result. But why go through this? Because our ultimate goal as researchers is to share the benefits of it. Kumbaga, meron ngang novelty, merong something new in your research, pero it would be useless if it's not felt or if it's not used by the society. So kumbaga, dapat lagi po nating ini-aim na mailabas ito at maipakalat na ito yung mga bagong technologies na nabubuo natin at ito ay beneficial for everyone. And again, delivering the fruits of research to its intended people. So kumbaga may nakakausap tayo, may mga nakikita tayong mga intended beneficiaries, pero kung hindi natin ito i-aim na ma-share sa kanila, hindi po aabot yung intentions natin sa magbe-benefit nito. And of course, meron man tayong sufficient funding to do the research, dapat iniisip din natin how should we sustain it afterwards. But again, researchers are not as wired to commercialize their technologies. It's not automatic to them because, again, we're focused on researchers determining something new, looking for something special in our fields. But it's not as automatic that we do research to commercialize these. But how so? Bakit kaya? Ano kayang meron? The motivations are not as present because, again, it's understandable that scientists have different hats. They have different responsibilities. They have multiple roles in an organization. Hindi din siguro sila trained to commercialize the research, which is also, again, acceptable. Some are still hesitant to commit to do their spin-off. Uh, they are challenged by the entrepreneurial path. Nahihirapan also to deploy their invention because they do not meet some requirements of the they don't meet some requirements for the intended market. And siguro isa din sa factor na talagang um hindi as um hindi as inspirational dahil nga wala din silang makitang mga success stories. Again, all of these are very valid. But is it really the time is a problem? Talaga ba? Or dahil ba marami lang talaga tayong ginagawa yung tunay na problem? So probably not. Because we can share also as DOC Fisher. We can share Dr. Uy or Dr. Francis Uy of Usher Technologies. Um like I guess some of you in the Zoom call, like he is also an administrator, a researcher, an inventor, and a founder, all at the same time. But he was able to create Usher Technologies, which is a spin-off coming from his projects in the DOC Fisher. And um, marami din siyang na-develop na technologies. And he was brave enough to join us in the commercialization journey. And that's why the fruits of his labor, not just by developing the technology, no, but by commercializing his tech, made him 9.4 million in his first year as a spin-off and 48 million in the second year. So it's possible. Um, and this only shows that even though talagang there's a lot of commitments, it's still possible to do one. And and of course, having this as a great as an example, hindi siya tumigil sa Usher. Meron pa po siyang second na spin-off, which is the Wilo Technologies. So, kumbaga dahil na-enjoy na siguro na, dahil nasimulan niya, tuloy-tuloy na rin po sa end niya. But now, given that kind of challenges, we still need to know ano nga ba talaga ang commercialization. But to illustrate it further, I guess we should talk about what it is not first. Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's not automatic, and having such good research doesn't necessarily mean you have a good product. Because we have to understand that when we commercialize, you also need to understand our market, those that are intended to use the product. Because like us, of course, diba, as consumers naman, alam din natin na dapat bibili lang tayo kung ano yung useful sa atin. We'd only buy products that are beneficial to us. Hindi naman tayo bibili ng alam nating makapahamak sa atin. And apart from being useful, syempre may fitness also of the specifications. Kaya ito yung mga bagay na talagang mahirap i-match kung hindi natin naiintindihan kung sino yung intended beneficiaries natin. That's why it's a long process. Commercialization is a process because from R&D results, there's a series of refining, filtering, iterations, etc. before it reaches the users benefiting from the technology. Kumbaga, siguro na-experience na natin to. After our project, we have lots of data, we have lots of results. But in the end, maybe a thing or two talaga yung very useful sa mga tao. And it's okay. And by going through that, at least we still deliver yung intention ng technology sa ating mga intended users. It's also a set of decisions. It's not just a linear path. So apart from developing the technology, so R&D phase, we assess the technologies kasi dapat na-check natin yung fitness kung may IP na ba ito, may meron ba tayong solve na problem, nasang stage na kaya tayo ng assessment. So dito po papasok yung readiness natin in terms of technologies. But afterwards, after determining it, we have to decide now, do we transfer it? Do we take the leap of the spin-off? Do we pass it for translation? Or do we go back to R&D because baka na-identify natin after the assessment na malaki pa yung gaps?
Sir, sorry po. Excuse me lang, sir. Na-mute po kayo.
Oops,
Thank
ayan, okay na
you.
po.
Yes
Okay,
po.
so just I mentioned earlier, so commercialization is a journey. So we take a series of steps and we also encounter issues along the way. So meron tayong IP issues, market issues, and there's a huge gap um between these issues before we reach the actual value of the technology. So, but again, these are challenges that we are facing, and it's really part of the journey before we reach our success. So ngayon, we must be curious. So what do we do now when our project has ended? Kasi maybe after some series of consultations, research, experiments, once we reach our results, either desired man yun or unintentionally you saw something new, ano kayang dapat gagawin natin? Well, we're here to connect R&D to commercialization. So oftentimes, an R&D project is 3 years. So 1 to 2 years, may mga R&D projects tayo within the university or government funded. Afterwards, there's what we call the vague years. Because this is where the project has ended. So hindi natin alam ano dapat gagawin natin sa susunod. Well, we may be having the proof of concept from the research, but when transitioning from product to market, dun tayo nawawala. Hindi natin sure kung ano bang dapat itutuloy ba natin to? Do we shelf this? Um, do we find another partner already or do we commercialize? So a lot of things can happen after this. But all of these, all of your decisions as researchers should definitely lead to development because from applying your research, from advancing its development to the actual product development, ayun, a series of decisions can lead to the development of different products, of different processes, etc. So the example here is that when you do experimentation and analysis, afterwards you can do now proof of concepts, and in the end, we now have defined forms, functions, and features. So development along stages. And this development should lead to commercialization because by having your proof of idea to proof of concept, by determining your enterprises or your market, we should aim that we scale it up and to expand to reach more people. But again, the usual, sabi natin, R&D takes 1 to 3 years. So the researcher undergoes a 3-year project, was able to develop the products, or develop the proof of concepts, develops the results. But afterwards, parang R&D pa din kasi nakakapag-decide ang researchers after that project, ay, sige, parang kailangan ng continued R&D for this one. So it would take another 3 years for you to um to come up with another product, with an improved product. So uh more or less 6 years, I guess, before we finally consider something else. And more than that, apart from the same R&D, kasi naiintindihan naman natin that there are some issues that we will encounter along the way. So, tech issues, so there are features and gaps that we encounter along the way. After that, IP issues, sino bang nag-own ng IP? Is it mine? Is it the university, etc.? Or the market issues. So, um, users and adopters are all unidentified yet. So for every step of the way, there's a challenge, and the more your product gets bigger, the more it gets developed. Of course, bigger problems arise until you see some value and make some value out of it already. But even though you're able to plan it, so sabi natin R&D first phase, R&D second phase, now you consider developing a product for commercialization. We have to understand also that not everything proceeds as planned because there's some pitfalls that we encounter along the way. And yun yung mga dapat tinitingnan din natin kung paano na masasagot as researchers. So, kaya important that even though these are not as planned, so we saw earlier that there are defined steps, there are defined expected issues. But what if we encounter nothing ahead of us? So, kumbaga, hindi natin sure where we will go. That's a problem also. But we have to go back to our research and say that if I know what I'm at this stage, it's easier for me to navigate what's next. That's why it's always important for us researchers and technology developers to know where we are at, to know where we are at point if whether we are already at point A and how do we go from here to point B. So that's what this technology readiness levels are about. So we have to track where we are so we know how to proceed. So I guess for those that are attending this session, most of you probably have heard of TRLs, technology readiness levels. Uh, Apparently, it came from NASA, and its intended purpose was just to for them rather for them to determine if the instrument or the flight module is ready for takeoff. And coming from TRL 1 to TRL 9, series of different iterations, researches are made to to establish that. So now that we have a standard metric for what a technology is, so the European Commission has developed a more standardized TRLs that are more inclusive, I guess, or um more more broad or broader uh to accommodate a lot of technologies. And when we talk about TRLs readiness levels, we're at the same page. So given these levels of stages, we must be curious now that when do we actually engage a potential adopter? So we also have now, apart from the tier L levels, we also have investment readiness levels at also the same scale from 1 to 9. Um, it starts from business models until we reach a level that we are now identifying metrics that matter. So exactly. So selling price, burn rate, etc. So we should also track these in order for us to know the fitness of our technology, both in the market and its readiness for for adoption. As I mentioned earlier, we were tracking this because we should progress in both readiness levels. So it's not just from tier L1 to 9. We need to progress both from tier L1 to 9, also from RL 1 to 9. Because we have to track the technologies that are we have to track whether we're ready to face the real world solution, the real world applications for real world solutions. But a little modification was done, at least when we tracked in Department of Science and Technology. We tweaked a little bit the IRL levels because we need to prioritize the problem solution fit of our technologies before we create our business models. At least in the DOSCP shared, when we talk about TRLs and IRLs, we ensure that at the very basic, these technologies are actually solving or trying to solve actual problems before we develop them into a viable business, before we develop them um into a more developed technology. So now, given that we're tracking both, what are we expecting to see if IRLs are not progressing? So now there are technologies that are really developed about TRL 6 that have already has large prototypes with validations, but they haven't progressed that much in IRLs. Say for example in this graph, it's in TRL 6 but still in IRL 2. They can make it, the researchers can make it, but they won't come because, or by the market won't come because we haven't validated the MVPs. We haven't really evaluated product market fit, if it's actually viable for selling. We haven't validated our revenue models, etc. So I guess the point of this one is that we have a good technology, but our buyers won't come because we're not prepared for it. That's why we should aim that we are progressing in both levels because once they know that they can make it and they're prepared to sell it, the market will come to them. But on the other hand now, what happens if the TRLs are delayed or deprioritized? So now that we learned that we can probably be an entrepreneur uh, using our technology, but even though we have that kind of idea, what happens if we left it behind the TRLs? They come, of course, the market because we show the solution to them that is appealing to them. But we can't make it because we're still stuck in a small prototype or a ugly prototype, and we cannot meet the demand of our market. So again, the difference is they will come, but we can't make it. So probably it will look like this. So we showed a very big solution. So probably say in this example, a revolutionary uh truck or a crane. But in the end, since we are not progressing anywhere else, cardboard lang pala to in the end. So a lot of interest came in, a lot of businesses came in, tapos ang makikita nila, cardboard lang kasi naka-prototype pa lang eh. Ang kaya niya lang palang buhatin, Coke can. And that's the risk of not progressing TRLs. That's why we should progress in both. We will make it and they will come. So how do we do that now? So we have to know, as I mentioned earlier, we have to know where we are at. So from us to determine where we'll go next. And that's where I guess and that's where I believe the TRLs are very much applicable or very much useful. So we are guided that as we go up the ladder, there's something that we should look forward to. So for every step of the way, meron benchmark, ito dapat yung IRL2, ito yung TRL4, etc., etc. So there's something that tangible also na pwede nating i-look forward to for us to reach that goal. So it all starts at TRL0, an idea. So naisip ko pa lang, ito yung gusto kong gawin, na-inspire ako na gumawa. And kumbaga parang kung ikaw ay interested na magkabahay, no? At gusto mo mag-design ng inyong bahay, nagkaka-idea ka, ito yung gusto kong maging itsura niya. Pero wala pa siyang actual work. Talagang drawing pa lang. That's where we start, from the idea. Now, how do we progress into TRL1? In this part, this is where we establish the science, where we have to determine if the research is basic or experimental. It's okay na wala pang specific application, but as long as you have a publication or written report, the research is already at TRL1. Kumbaga meron ka ng schematics, meron ka ng mga theories that you have on your arsenal. So, and you've published it, that's TRL1. And now, when we progress in TRL2, we now prepare the formulation, the design, the processes, etc. So coming out from that research paper of theories, of calculations, now there's a technique, formulations, or designs of actual technologies that are being developed. So may concept proven through tests. So for us to determine that we are already at tier L2, the evidence we should present a proof of concept that it actually works, that our concept or that our idea is happening, and that our idea is that our idea can be transformed into a technique. And apart from your POCs, of course, lab tests, so mga activities that proves a concept, ano ba yung initial characteristics niya, ano ba yung mga initial features niya. So kumbaga, ayun, for when you're making your homes, di ba? Or at least dreaming of one. Kumbaga, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga set parameters already. Ano yung mga gusto kong mangyari with my home. At nagtetest tayo, ay, okay kaya to, viable kaya, etc. And we progress further into TRL3. So we now find and test for specific applications. So from the previous TRL, sabi natin, okay, may proof of concept, meron akong na-validate na idea through my lab tests, na-generate ko na, from my idea pala, and from my research paper, ito pala yung characteristics once I apply my techniques, my processes. And now, for you to progress into TRL3, you should find a specific application of this technique, technology, or formulation that you have developed. So kumbaga, it's finding the right position in, say, for example, in scientific article or scientific pursuit. Kumbaga, nahanap mo ano ba yung intended application niya in the real world. And for that, we have we have to identify the applications that we're intending to and supporting it with lab tests that proves its advantages, kung bakit siya advantageous versus the existing solution, and performance benchmark. So dapat at least ito nagkaka-idea na tayo. Ano ba yung market equivalent nung ino-offer ko? Uh, is it X% better than the solution that we have now versus the market, et cetera, et cetera. And dito natin hinahanap kung may IP na bang na file. Because from here on forward, we will be propelling further. Excuse me. So now, kumbaga, as you we see from TRL0 to TRL3, medyo nagkakaroon na ng, ano no, ng hulma or ng talagang direction yung ginagawa natin technology. So, nasusuportan na rin tayo ng tests, ng talagang real-world comparisons, if talaga bang viable pa siya to go up or to go further in the readiness levels. So now, we go to the fourth readiness level, which is yung building the ugly prototype. So, we now look into our research if there's a prototype that can be built through it. Meron kayang mga series of fabricated trials that were made. So, from the ideas, from the concepts, from the characteristics, meron na ba tayong prototype of the technology that was created to the lab? May mga designs na ba? So, for example, in this figure in this presentation, coming from an idea sa isip natin na ito yung gusto kong bahay, nagkaroon tayo ng mga specific parameters that we're looking out to. Now we're testing different types or different prototypes na pwedeng mabuo at same parameters, same concept. So, meron dito, ngayon, pwede ba siyang maging two-story building, etc., etc. So, after your ugly prototype, we should also develop before we progress to the fifth level of the technology readiness level, we should have a large prototype. So, yung prototype na ba ito ay intended for users or field tested already? So magkaiba yung naka-develop ka ng prototype doon sa yung prototype ay na-validate na or at least nagkaroon ng or na-identify kung usable ba ito, etc. And acceptable kaya ito sa mga users mo kasi dito pumapasok yung challenges in refining, in improving your product kasi your initial prototype does not yet meet the standards or masyado bang maraming nangyayari doon sa product at ang interest ng pala talaga ng users mo ay 2 to 3 features lang. So yun yung mga nalalaman natin in this one. And for us to get through or to achieve TRL5, we have to show a second iteration of the design, a more concrete technical specifications, users na gumamit, and yung products na na-produce ng partner manufacturer. Kumbaga dito kasi 'di ba nagkakaroon ka ng mga larger prototypes, iterations, medyo may nakakausap ka ng sinong pwede kaya makapag-produce nito. So dito po natin nakikita yon sa Tier L5. And meron din tayong binabantayan sa field test results. So dapat conscious na rin tayo kung ano ba yung maintenance or spare parts na kailangan. Ano ba yung consumables natin sa isang technology. Anong type of service and support kinakailangan nila when they use it. Yung ease of adaptability. So, gaano ba kadaling ma-adapt ng users yung pinibigay mong solution. So, that's also one. Fit with existing infrastructure and processes. Yung requirements mo ba doon sa yung prototype ay fit sa current standard ng yung manufacturers. At available kaya yung equipment na para makapag-mass produce ka, it's something that we should consider as early as Tier L5. Yung ease of manufacture, gaano kadali manufacture? Kasi baka mamaya, kaya naman siyang i-manufacture pero sobrang tagal. So baka bago pa tayo makapag-produce na isang technology, 2 weeks. So it's something that we should consider. And of course, yung cost, it's given because before you build it bigger, magtatanong nga sa iyo ang mga adapters or mga manufacturers, magkano ba yan? Magkano ba binubuo ang isang say set ng ng technology na meron ka? And dapat natetest din natin yung physical dimensions and cosmetic requirements kasi baka mamaya at this stage, hindi siya ma-appreciate masyado ng users kasi hindi siya as friendly or as inviting to use. So yeah, if again, going back again from our idea, uh, na nandito na tayo sa stage kung saan nagtetest na tayo ng ating technology. So, kaya kumbaga, the requirements are also getting bigger. And as I mentioned earlier, no, each step that we encounter, each step along the way, we face bigger we face bigger challenges. And as we move a step further in our TRLs, we're expecting bigger problems also that we should encounter or challenges that of course can be resolved naman once we are just guided um by these parameters that we should look out for. So now, sige, sabihin natin nakapag-learn prototype na tayo. Meron na tayong say, yung crane natin, yung crane kanina, acceptable na to our users. Na-test na-validate na. Ang sabi nila, kailangan lang daw nila ng additional grip doon sa crane natin. So, okay, nasa tier L5 na tayo. Na-identify natin lahat ng kailangan. We go now to, um, before we move towards tier L6, no? We look back to where it came from. So, are we consistent to our ideas, to our concepts, and everything? Kasi at least you see the development stages that we are going through, and it should always hindi naman lagi, no, but you'll often see in your journey that to reach TLL5, ang daming ang daming nangyari pala before we actually reach something that is acceptable to our users. So, now, we were able to build that product. Kaya meron tayong isang magandang crane, isang magandang bahay that we have in our hands. So now, how do we jump from prototypes to actual products? So it's something that we should be conscious of also because it's a big leap from where we will be coming from. So from the laboratory before we expand it into a bigger user acceptable product, malaking leap siya from that. And that's why for prototypes, kumbaga, yung technology side, it's more concerned on the feasibility, and on the product side, it's more concerned on the desirability of your users. Yung desire to use it, gusto ko ba siyang gamitin? And when we leap from prototypes to products, we're concerned on the intersection of its intersections for us to meet both the technology requirements and the desires of your market. Kaya ngayon, sabi natin kanina, na-meet natin yung Tier L5, na understand natin yung desirability of our users. We were able to identify the requirements of our technologies. Now, at Tier L6, we should be validating it in open waters. So by open waters, um parang the products should be produced by your manufacturer partner. Dapat in its actual intended environment. Kaya open waters kasi parang talagang it's there in the environment. Nasa open seas na talagang anything can happen. So anything can disrupt you, anything can pose you um anything can pose you uh as a big, well, risks and challenges are present in that open waters. And siguro ang guiding question for this one, or at least yung guiding question for this TRL, is that um namamanufacture na ba ng ating partner yung product close to the actual intended environment? Meaning, um, the actual applications of our product meets the manufacturing requirements. So, kumbaga, dapat nakikita natin yun at this point na our products, and of course, apart from the products can be manufactured by your partner for a few units already. So after the validation series of iterations, yung closer to the environment product should be well manufactured already kasi na-address na natin yung mga kailangan, mga requirements. And dito kumbaga nagkakaroon naman din tayo ng limited manufacturing license kung saan manufacturing partners are are ano tawag dito, our manufacturing partners can produce this uh in some siguro in some number in some quantity. So if we're able to answer this, if we're able to say that yes, our product is already robust, can be tested in open waters, has underwent or has undergone series of validations. Now we move to TRL7, where we demonstrate the system. So we've proven already our concept. Nasabi natin na gumagana ito. Meron ako ng prototype na address ko na yung mga kailangan ko to manufacture this. Can now this be replicated and demonstrated to consistently meet quality or performance standards? This is also a big or a huge roadblock for our technology generators kasi kumbaga the solution is there, it's working, but there are regulatory compliances we have to meet. And there are performance standards na kalaban natin sa market that we have to actually beat for us to say that we are meeting the requirements. So with that, series again of iterations, improvements will be met along the way. And once we achieve some level of information tulad ng length of use, gaano ba kadalas ginagamit ng users ito, acceptability through satisfaction rating, commercial product form, kumbaga kung nasaan na siya ngayon, kung talaga nakapackage na ba siya, nabebenta na ba siya through packaging. So this is also where we have our first sale, expected to have our first sale through the product manufactured by a partner. So we have to check all of these for us to say that we are already at tier L7. It's a big challenge, of course. And again, as we progress higher in our levels, the demands and the challenges get bigger also. But we, but of course, ito namang mga existing standards and quality standards are present. So, and we're now more, more blessed because information is more available, easily accessible. So, madali na nating ma-match kung nasan na ba tayo ngayon. So again, once we have these already in our hand, we can move toward Tier 8. So dealing with manufacturability. May first sale ka na. May nakakabili na ng products mo in its commercial form. Now, yung issues ba in manufacturing are already addressed? Nare-replicate ba yung technology natin consistently at commercial scale? And again, do we meet again the quality and performance standards? As we go along the way, the demand gets bigger. If especially if you have enough traction, so hindi lang naman siya yung kapag nabigay mo sa manufacturer, okay na to eh. When you produce it at mass quantities, at higher rates, of course may mga darating na problema doon. May mga adjustments in formulation, adjustments in some parts para yung mga intricate parts ay madaling ma-produce, etc. etc. So, and yung mga small parts ba, how long does it take for to um to produce it. So yung mga ganong bagay, dito natin siya na-encounter at TRL8. And again, once we're able to overcome these challenges, once we're able to scale up in a large scale, was able to set up replicable processes for us to manufacture the product, meron tayong continuous supply. So dahil may demand na nga, tumataas yung dapat yung unit sold, nakakasiguro meron ka na ding enough equipment or space requirement for you to manufacture your products, and meron ka na ding dapat na establish na value chain for you to where to source your materials, etc. And siguro yung concrete na regulatory compliance is part of achieving this. So there's a lot. I mean, based on experience of helping our researchers know, this is mahirap siyang ma-achieve yung TRL 8 because again, consistently dapat nakakapag-produce na tayo ng technologies and laging may consistent demand kasi dapat may continuous supply ka ng equipment mo. So, yeah, it's a big one. But again, if as long as we're guided by these North Stars siguro per TRL, and as long as we're guided by the evidence or how to achieve that evidences, malalampasan at malalampasan din talaga natin itong TRL 8. And finally, we go to TRL 9, which is sustainable sales. Apart from acceptability, apart from resolving your issues in your manufacturing, um, may nagbabayad na ba talaga dito sa product na to? May sustainable sales na ba tayo? So at least on our end, when we look out for our technologies here in the UST Fishered, if our spin-offs or those that have licensed out the technologies have at least 1 year of income from sales through the technology, we can definitely say it's already at TRL 9. So kaya medyo marami ding kaya medyo ano din, challenging ito kasi dapat 1 year of sustainable sales ang ating mapoproduce. If you haven't reached it, we cannot consider you a serial 9. But again, guided by the principles from idea to building your technologies and to understanding your market because um, the desire to use your technology should always be present. Mamamap out at mamamap out din natin ito. So, okay. We've discussed TRLs 1 to 9. So now we get to be curious, ano ba yung IRL, so yung investment readiness levels? So I mentioned earlier that the IRL 1, at least in our metric now, is a problem solution fit. Ano ba talaga yung problem na sinasolve natin? And problem ba ito o symptom of it? So by doing so, by doing root cause analysis, you'll be able to determine if what you're offering really answers your solution. So um the scale of the problem is also there. So kumbaga gaano ba kalaki yung dapat i-address na problem trying to address. So yun yung mga dapat i-consider natin with RL1. And once we have these answers, we can now find a specific application for this. Finding market, testing for the relevance and need. So kumbaga ito, actually this comic is really funny kasi may isa daw producer na ng Pope hats tapos hindi niya alam na isa lang ang Pope at a time. So kumbaga, even though your product is there, you can manufacture a lot of it. If it doesn't meet the market, it won't advance or you won't succeed as much. And to proceed further, now we answer the bigger questions. The first class business model. Sino ba talaga yung customers mo? How do you reach them? Would they pay for your solution? And if so, if not, ano kaya yung dapat na ginagawa ko to produce and deliver to them? Ano yung costs incurred in doing so? And sino ba dapat yung key partners na tutulong sa atin? So, by doing a business model, at least kahit a very crude one, as long as you meet um, these questions, you can now pass through IRL 3. And IRL 4, so is the minimum viable product. It's actually ang tendency nito if you go through the same trajectory. This is where TRL 5 and IRL 4 meet oftentimes. So before you progress to IRL 5, medyo may idea ka na ng ugly prototype, tapos may minimum viable product ka na kasi it's something that you know that you can sell before becoming an actual product. And for this, excuse me, so for IRL 5, we find now and test for specific applications. So, nag-gauge na ba natin kung talaga bang magbabayad sila? Kung talaga bang bibili sila? Meron bang um, kikita kaya tayo dito? So, and sino kaya yung mga kalaban ko sa market? And this is kind of the product market fit aspect of the IRL 5. So even though you have the right product, but if it doesn't meet the needs of your market, it won't actually pass through. So kaya talagang dapat sabay inaaral yung desirability, usability, and yung willingness to pay for your solutions. And probably, for now, most of us most of the researchers stop here because, at least for the research projects, dito talaga tayo nagsastop as we tend to solve first the rest of the TRL concerns and RL concerns. And this is also where we identify our programs na to help advance further or the technologies that were developed by the by the researchers. So I stop here for IL5 because at least dito natin makikita or hanggang dito lang muna natin makikita yung progress natin in our business. Kasi if we are able to answer our TRLs sa succeeding or yung higher levels of TRLs, mas madali natin navigate yung 6 to 9. For now, I'll end here. So, as technology transfer officers, or at least on what we do in the DOST Preferred, um, there are ways, or we have identified ways to help our researchers advance their technologies further in the across the different readiness levels. But first, we recognize, at least in the DOST Preferred, no, that that commercialization entails a lot of risks. So, um, kumbaga before one invests, no? Kumbaga the lower the TRL, the the higher the risk it is. Kasi kumbaga mas maraming i-cover na costs ang inyong investor or ang inyong adopter. So, kaya kumbaga tumutulong tayo kung paano ma-reduce yung risk na yan by helping the researchers advance their TRL levels. So for that, we have developed programs here in the DOC Preferred to help our researchers through entrepreneurial learning and fund support to further accelerate their TRL and RL levels. So kung meron po dito sa audience na Preferred project grantees, more or less na encounter na po natin itong mga projects or mga programs na ito. But for us to explain, for us to entice also na mag-join sa or mag-propose ng proposals sa DSC Preferred. So ito po yung mga in-offer namin on the latter end of your projects. So may R&D, may sprint program po kami, which is the short-term program for research on innovation and technopreneurship. So dito po pumapasok yung entrepreneurial learning and additional fund support under the fast track program, which helps the researchers simulate the environment for spin-offs and licensing before they can actually avail some startup grant fund a fund from startup grants, especially kung naging spin-off yung ating researcher. So may pre-commercialization support po kaming binibigay sa ating mga researchers. So because we recognize that through sprint, yung ating researchers and scientists should learn before they execute, or kumbaga they learn to execute, kaya tinuturuan namin sila ng kung ano yung entrepreneurship. And it's a customized short-term program, no? So, kumbaga, we also are able to filter out through this series of learning kung talaga bang may market yung technology na develop nila. Tapos may problem bang sinosolve at ano yung product na at mayroon bang product na magka-come out of it. So, kumbaga, may mga series of filtering it. And now for fast track, we provide support for tech transfer. So it's a bridging fund, it's a protection, and industry interface all at the same time. Kasi it's a bridging fund kasi it's a pre-commercialization track. So or pre-commercialization fund. So meron tayong binibigay na pera or funding for them to develop further to meet the industry standards, the market readiness, and protection then kasi we also know that again the risk is still high for these kinds of technologies. So we try to cover that risk or we try to protect our technology generators na kumbaga it's here to test, you're here to test your products and if it actually meets the market. And if you're there already, na i-interface mo na yung industry, there's an opportunity for you to validate it further. So just to share, right now po from the millions of assured funding that we have already, or from the millions of technologies that were funded, and below po yung mga spin-offs na na-generate namin. So may mga si Welo, si Usher, si Rome, yung ating this lecture. Just a recap of what we have learned. We know that the commercialization is all about these issues or these steps that the challenges we have to meet along the way. And we have to recognize that it's an open, we have to recognize these challenges with an open mind. It will be there talaga. It will be there and it will be present. Kaya dapat ready tayo to face them. And there's a series of steps and issues that we have to encounter before we meet value creation. So kumbaga it's a journey, but it's something na maganda ding i-go through. It's also a journey on collaboration because if you've seen the TRL levels and IRL levels earlier, yung TRLs requires you to partner with manufacturers to to go through the grassroots and meet your customers, validate your market, check their desirability. So kumbaga, it's an effort from all fronts before we can commercialize our tech. And we also assess our R&D results, where we are now, kaya may TRL levels, kaya may IRL levels, before we can reach commercial success. Kasi if we have those guides, mas may certainty ba yung next steps that we have to take, because we're guided on how we can advance our technologies and of course its viability in the market. We also learned that we need to plan and prepare before R&D projects end. So kumbaga, if we know that we're on the latter part of our technology generation already or the R&D project, dapat na pag-iisipan na natin na ito pala dapat yung na-achieve ko in terms of my TRL level. Ito yung dapat abangan ko pa bago ako makapag-proceed para din nakapag-ready kayo ahead of time. Especially if you'll be taking the part in a commercialization journey of your technology. And we have to validate. So if we have the opportunity to do so, please do. Kasi research results may have longer gestation but not impossible to commercialize. So meaning, tumagal man or nasa shelf man yung research mo ngayon, dahil siguro na-realize mo ngayon na, ay, okay pala mag-commercialize, kaya lang yung tech ko matagal na. Hindi siya impossible to commercialize, especially if there's opportunity for you to pivot your product. Okay, it's important to validate what you have now and um and get as much information as you can para lang din mas may confidence tayo to push through with our commercialization journey. So, technology transfer, at least in this part, no, is not a sprint to finish line. It's more of a relay of a lot of obstacles that we need to hurdle, the steps that I mentioned earlier. And with doing so, we can determine with the help of government, with the OST, with your fellow researchers, your technology transfer officers, and your stakeholders, we can determine the path on how we can commercialize our research outputs, whether through licensing, more collaboration with research, uh, startups or spin-offs, or for them to become income-generating projects. So I'd like to also know that innovation can be hard and getting things off the ground takes effort, but once we go through the journey, it's all worth it. So, maraming salamat po for listening, for tuning into this lecture. Again po, I'm Neil Reyes from DOC Fishered. You can contact us through these different platforms. And ayun po, maraming salamat po.
Ayan, thank you very much, Sir Neil, for that napakagandang ipakita ulit natin sa screen yung last slide ni Sir para makontak po natin yung Fishered if we have some questions na hindi natin matatanong dito sa ating session. So let's proceed with our Q&A. Anyone from the group who want to ask a question? Okay, so from NAYAP DepEd, Sir June Angelo. Hello, sir. You can unmute po. Ayan. Hello, Sir Juan. Okay, baka napindot lang. Anyone who want to ask?
Ems, nag-raise ng hand kanina si Sir Razel.
Ayun, si
Ayan,
Sir
let's...
Razel Alexis. Ayan po. Hello po. You can unmute na po for the question.
Hello po. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
I would like to ask, what would you say to a researcher who wants to develop a product that's not necessarily directed at solving commercial problems? Because there may be technologies that are directed at poorer folks or less privileged people. So the process of commercialization may not be uh, direct in that case.
Okay. Hi, Razel. Thanks for your question. It's good to see you here pala. Sorry. So, um, to answer your question, we recognize also that there are parts of where there are technologies intended for public good. So, tama yung sinasabi mo na meron tayong, meron mga technologies na intended hindi naman um, for commercial success. Tama ka dun. Hindi naman dapat siya binibenta. But of course, ayun, kaya meron tayong mga technologies na dine-develop to to create public good technologies. And kung ang tatanong mo sa akin kung ano sasabihin ko sa kanila, I'd encourage them. Because again, they're part of the development of our society. And of course, hindi naman kabawasan sa kanila na gumagawa sila ng technology not for the sake of profit. And a lot of researchers are doing that. And it's okay. So, kumbaga, at least on our end naman sa tech transfer, we focus on those that can generate value. And baka lang hindi kasi na nakikita yung value doon sa technology na yun. Kaya namin sila ini-inspire or ini-encourage to go through the commercialization journey para din mas accessible kasi siguro to give you an idea, no? If we stick with the technologies just in the lab, of course, yung cost nun is higher. So, once we're able to translate it into, say, kung public good man yan or for commercialization, it's really, if we guide them along the way on how to transform it into such, mas accessible yan sa mas nakakarami. So, yeah. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you po.
Ayan, thank you, Ryzen. Okay, next question. Do we have live questions? Gusto mag-unmute? Sige, magbasa muna ako ng question dito, Sir Neil. No? May mga question na na-send sa atin. Okay, so sino raw pong eligible for the Sprint and Fast Track program of Fishered?
Okay, good question po. So, kaya ko po natanong kanina kung sino po ang may pressured funding or pressured funded projects dito. For now po, we're catering for those that are pressured funded. So, or pressured monitored. So, alam po natin na may mga streams of funding through DOST. So, as long as we monitor it or kami po yung nag-fund, medyo nandun po sila sa list of projects that will be shortlisting for sprint and fast track programs. So yun po.
Okay, sir. Next question. Which documents serve as a standard or guideline for determining the TRL, or what kind of evidence or documentation is required to prove a technology's TRL level?
Yun po, yung mga na-mention ko pa earlier was those are the guiding evidences for you to be at a certain TRL level. So kung for example sa TRL 1, kung mayroon na po kayo na-publish na paper on your theories, on your postulates, no, tungkol dun sa certain concept, you're already at TRL 1. That's a good evidence already. So yung next naman po yung mga succeeding evidences kung may concept na ba, kung meron na bang na-develop na prototype, etc. So yun po yung mga evidences that we'll have to check as we progress towards bigger TRL levels po. So yeah.
Okay, sir. Next question. Currently, do we have national policy or institutional support strengthening TRL-based innovation or technology management?
In terms of, well, the policy support is there. Well, meron na po tayong Innovative Startup Act. which prepares the startups na magkaroon ng support from the government, so which is there already. So meron naman tayo ng Tech Transfer Act that helps us ensure that the technologies can be transferred through the universities, to researchers, o tapos may mga licensing guidelines yun kung sino mag-own ng tech, etc. May mga implementing rules and regulations din. Yung we also have, well, yun yung dalawa na masasagot ko na guiding policies. But in terms of the TRL itself, it's coming from the tech transfer tech transfer IRRs, no? We use the TRL levels as supplement para mas madali nating mag-guide yung ating researchers to become a spin-off, to license their products, or to become a startup. So yan.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Do you have some more questions? That's the last question na nandito. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ayun po, once again, thank you very much, Sir Neil. But pwede ba ulit pong maka-request ng another photo sa ating mga participants? Can you please open your cameras? Dahil kanina parang hindi napindot yung ating photo kanina. Sige, ayan. Okay, taste lang po tayo sa ating smile dahil ilang page to? 3, okay? Sige po, so in the count of 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, second page. 3, 2, 1, smile. And then last page. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, ayan po. So maraming salamat po again, Sir Neil. And of course, as a gesture of our sincere appreciation, we'd like to present a certificate of appreciation. Okay, so let me read the citation. Republic of the Philippines, Department of Science and Technology, Regional Office 3 awards this Certificate of Appreciation to Engineer Neil Christian R. Reyes in grateful recognition and commendation for sharing his valuable time, knowledge, and expertise as resource speaker during the conduct of TechTips 034, the TRL Roadmap Understanding Technology Readiness Levels, held on October 14, 2025 via online video conference, given this 14th day of October 2025, signed by our Regional Director, Dr. Julius Cesar V. Sicat. Ayan po, mali po, maraming salamat Sir Neil at marami kaming natutunan this afternoon. And of course, sa ating mga participants, maraming salamat sa pagdalo. And as we reach this conclusion, we will not end without a message, siyempre. So to formally close this activity, may we request a message from the dedicated Senior Science Research Specialist of PSTO Tarlac, Ms. Denise May Pilicaranto. Hello,
Thank you very
ma'am.
much, Ems. Maraming salamat. So again po, we would like to extend our sincerest gratitude sa ating expert and resource speaker today, Engineer Neil Christian Reyes, the Technology Transfer Officer and Program Manager from the DOST Shirt, for sharing po ang kanyang expertise dito sa ating topic. And of course, maraming salamat din po sa ating mga researchers from the different universities, not only here in Central Luzon, but also mula Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao po. Maraming salamat po for joining us today for this very informative webinar. Gayon din po sa ating sign language interpreter, and sa ating partner university, Tarlac State University, sa palagi ang pag-antabay sa ating mga webinar sessions dito sa Tech Tips. So for this session, from R&D to commercialization, a quick guide on TRLs and IRLs, although quick, sabi nga dito sa title, the webinar has not only provided us a clear roadmap using technology readiness levels and IRLs, but also reminded us of the very objective ng ating mga research efforts, which is to share and sustain the benefits to the community and the economy. We also saw the challenges towards commercialization, from defining the researcher's vision to value creation, where our research speaker was able to emphasize that technology readiness level should always progress along with the investment readiness level. And through this webinar, we hope that you are all enlightened po, no, with the definition of these TRLs, how we can apply them with our researches, and was able to understand that good research doesn't necessarily mean a good product, no? And there's a need for us to expand our focus from the technical specifications to value proposition of the product, where what the actually user needs or buys, no? In consideration also do sa na-mention kanina, which is doon sa part ng manufacturability naman ng ating research. And with that po, we encourage all our researchers, innovators, and even technology transfer partners to apply these concepts to your projects, whether tayo po ay nasa TRL 1, 2, 3, no? Or we are approaching sa IRL 5. Remember that our goal is to make your innovation out of the lab and put them into the hands of our target end user. Again, maraming salamat po sa team ng DOST Assured, sa ating napakagaling na speaker, Engineer Neil Reyes. Maraming salamat po. And sa ating mga participants for today. To our researchers and innovators, we look forward to seeing the impact of your innovations. Again, maraming salamat po.
Ayan, thank you very much, Ma'am Dang. Maraming salamat for that message. So, there you have it, ladies and men. We will now flash on screen yung ating attendance and evaluation link for this webinar. Again, Sir Neil, maraming salamat po sa pagpapa-unlock kahit alam naming napaka-busy mo. Alam ko meron ka pang next na activity after this. So, yun po. So, guys, kindly answer within 30 minutes. Ang ating mga e-certificates will be released within 2 weeks. And we'll ask permission to Sir Neil para dun sa mga contact details para makontak natin siya dun sa mga questions natin regarding the topic this afternoon. So muli, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat and see you on the next Tech Tips.